Hey guys, welcome to Sensi with Jessica. I am Jessica Miller and I am a Sensi consultant. Today I just wanted to talk to you about one way I have found to enhance my life. I have found that physical activity is just a necessary part of keeping my mind healthy. I just finished working out and I wanted to kind of go over this stuff with you. I actually used to be 285 pounds was the highest recorded weight, and I'm sure that I weighed more than that because I constantly have been up and down. But when I finally started to get help, I weighed in at 285 pounds. At one point I had gone all the way down to 140, sitting at 155-ish right now. So I'm still working on getting the weight back off that I'd gained. And one of the things that I have found is that exercise is not necessarily the way I am going to get thin. The physical activity doesn't actually cause weight to go down for me, but the physical activity helps me to cope with my stress. The endorphins produced when I get physically active reduce the stress hormones of cortisol and dopamine, the things that I have been battling all day and I do not want to pass on to my family. They can be dealt with in a positive way by moving and getting physically active. Originally, the way I dealt with those stress things, those stress hormones and all of my issues was to eat, because sugar and carbohydrates, junk food produced endorphins, and that's addictive, but it's also damaging to your body. Physical activity does not mean you have to go out there and run a marathon. Just going for a walk with your dog. That's what my doctor is constantly talking about. Just go for a walk with your dog to have that mental moment to de-stress before you enter your home and start creating challenges for the rest of your family. Take the chance to unwind, breathe in some fresh air, spend some time with your dog, and walk. Now, I like things to be a little bit more challenging, so I will do different exercises. Initially, I started with running, and my goal was to run a 5K. And yeah, 5K sounds hard, but what was even harder was the very first minute I actually ran, ever, as an adult. I guess you could say, as an adult. That 1 minute that I ran for the first time was way harder than a 5K, because I had to get over this mental belief that I can't run. 200, I think I was 255 when I started running. And yeah, in my brain, I couldn't run. I actually ran in place for 1 minute in my bedroom just to make sure I could do it before I went outside and tried, because I really had in my brain that I couldn't do it. And when I did do it, endorphins, pew, pew, pew. You can do that. You can do it. So then I started running and I would do 3-minute runs. Pew, pew. Endorphins, endorphins, endorphins. Man, the first time I ran for 5 minutes straight, I actually had my husband film it because I was so excited at the progress I made. I wasn't necessarily excited because I was losing weight. I was losing weight because of my diet. I've exercised before and it never worked. The diet lost the weight, but the exercise distracted me from the food endorphins and helped me learn to get my endorphin high somewhere else. So exercise is not just about being physically active and changing your body. There is a mental switch that gets flipped when you exercise. And flipping that switch every day consistently, getting those PRs, it changed what I believed about myself. I ran 5Ks and then I switched to karate. I think that's when I started karate. So I was so scared. I had this massive social anxiety, and I had just graduated nursing school. Every morning I would come into work and I had to meet 7 new patients, 7 new families. I was constantly meeting new staff and stuff like that. Every day I drove to work for an hour crying because I was so scared to meet people. I kept making myself do it because I thought one day it won't be hard. So in order to get past that social anxiety, I felt like maybe if I was capable of defending myself, if I was brave, maybe I won't be so scared. So I started karate. Initially, I started with karate style called Krav Maga, which is self-defense. It was created by the Israeli army, and it's all about close quarter combat, hand-to-hand stuff. And then eventually I switched to doing Tang Soo Do, which is what Chuck Norris brought over from South Korea, I think. He brought it from Korea. I believe it was South Korea. And that was phenomenal. The stretching and the fighting, like combined together, was phenomenal. And I eventually earned my black belt. And when I earned my black belt, I thought that was going to be the moment where I could believe in myself. And what I realized when I got it was that I actually, somewhere along the line, had started believing in myself and didn't realize it. My confidence became actual confidence instead of the fake confidence that I had tried to display. So yeah, exercise. It got me away from the comfort food. It put confidence in me. I don't cry on the way to work now. My patients are children now, so I actually enjoy it a whole lot. Children are just incredibly unconditional, loving creatures. It's amazing. But I still have to, deal with their parents. And actually over the winter, I was an Uber driver. Like 3 years ago, I never would imagine I would get strangers in my car, drunk, high, whatever, and drive them around. Now, most of them are not, but I wasn't afraid of that to the point that it stopped me from doing the job. I developed confidence. So basically, get active. You don't have to do Krav. You don't have to fight. You don't have to box. You don't have to run a marathon. Go outside for a walk. Smokers, they go outside, spend 15 minutes outside. You can spend 15 minutes just walking your dog and get the same relaxing benefits. If you have any questions, you want to talk about it, I am available to talk. Now, I've done a lot of work as a nurse in behavioral health. I'm actually going back into behavioral health a little bit. So I'm going to have kids and behavioral health patients. If you just want to talk, I've actually taken classes also in counseling. I haven't graduated, but I can talk. If you just need a minute to express your stress, that produces endorphins too. That's going to undo your stress. Message me. My name is Jessica Miller, BSN, RN on Facebook. I use those credentials just because my name is so generic. I wanted to help you guys find the correct Jessica Miller. And then on My Scentsy page is jmillerrn.scentsy.us.